Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Pratt and I'm on staff here at Christ the Redeemer Christian Service. And today we're here welcoming our new pastor, Father Bill Promesso. Welcome. We're delighted to have you. Delighted to have you. We thought we'd start with a few questions to help introduce yourself to the parish. So number one, how are you feeling today?
Today is July 1st, 2020, and I'm feeling excited and nervous, a little anxious, a little stressed out, a little sad. I've been going through a lot of things in the past several days. If you go back to last weekend, I had the farewell weekend from St. Cyprian with 2 weekend masses and a parking lot car parade where I had a chance to visit with people from a social distance and wearing masks and things like that. Leaving there after 16 years was very difficult, but by the end of the weekend I felt very loved and very affirmed, and God and I had a long talk on Sunday night, and I realized that I had come to the conclusion of a really good part of my life and a really good part of my ministry, and that I was now able to put that off to the side and step into a new adventure of ministry here at Christ the Redeemer. So I've faced sadness and loss, I've faced grief, but now I'm dealing with gain and excitement and the anxiety that comes with doing something new. The anxiety I'm feeling is not a negative thing. It comes with the excitement of walking into a new parish with the new people in a new area, and while all this newness is a little overwhelming, it's also very exciting. How do I feel today? I feel a lot of things today, but I think the biggest one is I feel excited, and I'm very happy to be here with all of you at Christ the Redeemer, starting something new.
Great. We feel the same by far. We understand that you speak Spanish. So how do you see using this gift at Christ the Redeemer?
To say I speak Spanish is probably requires some clarity. My Spanish is functional, but it's not fluent. I haven't had a lot of opportunity to use it where I was. En 2008, yo estudié español en la programa intensivo en San Antonio, Texas. Since 2008, I've had the opportunity to celebrate Mass in Spanish, celebrate the anointing of the sick in Spanish, celebrate reconciliation in Spanish. I've also done some bilingual celebrations with Spanish and English. Yo necesito practicar. I need to practice español. Pero yo puedo celebrar la Santa Misa en español, el unción de los enfermos en español, la boda en español, el funeral en español y bilingüe. So, I can listen to Spanish, I understand a lot of Spanish, I can use it, but probably where I'm most lacking is in my conversational skills. I can use it liturgically, I can use it sacramentally, but that's usually just me speaking or reading Spanish. I'm not as good as listening to conversation, and I'm hoping that with the larger Latino community here at Christ the Redeemer, I'll have more of an opportunity to use it and practice it.
Absolutely. That's wonderful news for us. We now have a considerable challenge to gather in person in this time of pandemic. How has the coronavirus impacted your ministry?
That's a good question. On Friday the 13th of March, we got the notification from the Archdiocese that we were shutting down with the rest of the state of Michigan. And even though we have partially opened up, a lot of things remain largely shut down, even now on July 1st. I recognized a long time ago that a big part of a priest's ministry is building relationships with the people that you serve. And one of the ways in which we do that is through all the social events of the parish, which includes meetings. So when you take out all the meetings we have not been able to have, and when you take out all the social events, hospitality, after Mass, parties, all those kinds of things that are a part and parcel of parish life, but we've been able to do all of that. I know that the past several months was difficult getting ready to leave St. Cyprian, but it also presents the challenge of getting to know Christ the Redeemer. How do we get to know each other if so few people can be here in church for Mass? How do we get to know each other if we can't socialize in the Bethany room? How can we get to know each other if we can't be at meetings? So we're limited by doing meetings on Zoom, or small gatherings of people here at the parish, or simply exposing myself to people over and over again over a longer period of time. I would normally have said that we might get to be comfortable with each other in about 6 months, get to know each other after encountering each other in different settings in parish life, but now I think that probably extends to a whole year. I think a whole year might be necessary for the transition this time, and it would have been shorter in a regular time. And I think that's going to be the challenge, as I learn names and faces and the roles people have. I have to learn the parish staff, first of all, and then learn the names and faces of people and the parish council and committees and commissions, and then extend that out to those who are here on Saturday and Sunday. So there are a lot of people to get to know, and yes, we are limited in our ability to do so, but I'm convinced that it'll go okay. It'll just take longer.
And what are your dreams or plans? Do you have anything specific in mind for Christ the Redeemer that you'd like to see in the future?
I really don't come with any specific plan in mind other than getting to know you. Because this area is new to me. Because Lake Orion is new, and the roads are new, and all of it is kind of, I'm coming into it with the eyes of a stranger, in the eyes of newness. I don't come in with any agenda, any particular plan for the parish. The Archdiocese does have a plan, and that's something that was just rolled out on Pentecost. And some of the people might be aware of it, some may not be. The Archbishop announced on the anniversary of his pastoral letter of 2017 called Unleash the Gospel. This is now 3 years later. And on Pentecost, he announced a plan of reorganizing parish life called Families of Parishes, where parishes will be working more closely together than they have before. And that is just beginning to unfold. The information I have at this point is that we might have a closer working relationship on a daily basis with at least St. Joseph the Worker in Lake Orion, and maybe a couple of other parishes around us. But that's just beginning. The conversations are just starting, and the meetings are just happening on the archdiocesan level. So we'll be guided through that process of becoming part of a family of parishes. We should have some finalization of what our family is going to look like. That is, the parishes that will make up the grouping. Could be 2 or 3 or 4 parishes coming together. And that we should know that by Advent. And then it's going to be a 2-year process to integrate parish life into each other. The hope of the Archbishop and the whole Archdiocese is that having parishes come into some deliberate relationship with each other will address 2 problems. The first is the shortage of priests, which continues to increase every year. Numbers of priests retire. The number of priests we ordain is smaller than that number. So every year we have a negative number of priests. So what they're hoping is that in the future, if we gather parishes together in groupings that they're calling a family of parishes, you might be able to have, say, 2 priests covering 4 parishes. And then perhaps some staff members sharing multiple sites as well. And all of that will assist the other problem, which is the shortage of financial and human resources. So they're hoping that bringing the parishes together in these new families of parishes will address those 2 shortages that are already with us and are sure to become worse.
Great, thank you. And we can't let you go without asking one last question.
Sure.
We hear you have a dog.
I do have a dog.
Can you tell us a little bit about her?
I would love to tell you about my Bella. Bella is now going to be about 5.5 years old in August. I adopted her from a rescue organization called, I always want to laugh when I say its name, Bed, Bark, and Beyond. And that's in Romulus, not too far from Detroit Metro Airport. I went there after my previous dog, who had been a golden doodle named Bingo. Bingo died at home in the summer of 2018. I was dogless for about 3 months. I had told myself I did not want to get another dog. And after 3 months, I was so lonely for a dog, I went out and someone put me in touch with this rescue organization. I actually went to Bed Bath & Beyond looking for a different dog. But when I arrived that day, the dog I had gone to investigate had already gone back to his foster home. But the woman who operates Bed Bath & Beyond and I began to have a conversation, and during the course of the conversation, she said to me, "I'm not sure if the dog you came to see is really the right dog for you." And I said, "Oh, well, what do you have in mind?" Well, she didn't have anything in mind, but then her phone rang. And she opened the door to her house, and out ran several dogs that were been in the house. But one dog ran all the way around the big yard and came up to me and put her paws on my knees and climbed up me and put her paws on my shoulders and then began to lick my face. And I said to the woman, "Who is this?" And she said, "Well, obviously it's your dog." So that's who I adopted, and that's who I named Bella.
Perfect.
So Bella's about 5.5 years old. She's probably a German Shepherd Beagle mix. She weighs about 50 pounds, and she is my house roommate, and she's also my walking companion.
Nice. Well, that's great news. We look forward to meeting her and getting to know you better.
Thank you.
We're delighted that you're so comfortable in front of the camera. We look forward to your Twitter and your Facebook, announcements every day. That'll be a great way to introduce you to the parish as well. So
I hope to be on Facebook regularly, as I have been for the past several months. In St. Cyprian, I think it's a good idea to be able to reach out to people with my thoughts of the day, and I plan on doing that regularly here at Christ the Redeemer. And Twitter, you can follow me. Some days I'm very active, other days I'm not so active. I might comment on the politics of the day. I might comment on something regarding the church, something regarding the parish, or it could be something personal. So all of those things are on my Twitter feed, and if you're on Twitter, I welcome you to follow me. That's it. RevDrWJP on Twitter. And then I will be using the Christ the Redeemer Facebook page. I do have a personal Facebook page as well, but I try to keep those things separate.
Sure.
I try to keep my personal Facebook page as personal as possible. Priests live very public lives. We don't have a lot of privacy in that sense. I really don't use Facebook much for myself. I look at other people's postings, but I don't make a lot of postings, except the other day, I did post on my personal page that I moved to Lake Orion, Michigan. And last time I checked, there were 111 responses that people saw that I moved to Lake Orion, Michigan. So people do see what I put, but I will try to always put parish Facebook things separate from my personal Facebook page.
great. Well, thank you for the interview. We welcome you again, and we look forward to hearing more from you.
It is great to be here. I cannot wait to preside in this beautiful church. It'll be Friday morning at 9 o'clock, my first Mass here, and Saturday at 5 o'clock, and then Sunday at 9 and 11. And I can't wait to meet the people of CTR.
Thank you.
Thank you.